Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Comes your faithful reporter this week from the field to investigate the latest law enforcement infringement of civil rights in our land, otherwise known as flock cameras. Yes, flock cameras, in case you did not know, are now installed and active in 49 of the 50 U.S. states and are actively surveilling each and every one of us, like it or not. The only state that has not allowed these cameras in yet is Alaska. And as it turns out, your local state, county, or city has in fact taken your own tax monies paid and turned around and purchased the latest spy camera technology to run around and potentially use against you. Okay, kids and cousins, before we all get up in arms and start marching with torches and pitchforks, let's all take a deep breath and take a calm look at these and what the potential and actual ramifications of their use entails. I do think in this day and age of technology at the speed of light passing us by almost daily, we had to somehow know that as cameras became smaller and cheaper to manufacture, there would come a time where we'd possibly be watched everywhere we go. Unfortunately, that time is now for everyone in the United States, it seems. Trying not to be paranoid, though it certainly becomes more difficult all the time, does it not, my friends? Why would any municipality, county, or state install surveillance cameras on massive scales? Well, we all hear the standard promises that these governments merely wish to be able to catch criminals. Well, that is rather vague, and we all should be wary of where it could potentially lead. It is now documented that flock cameras not only capture license plate numbers, but also gather data such as color, make, model, and year of your motor vehicle, along with any roof racks, bumper hitches, dents, dings, bumper stickers, window decals, sunroofs, and even facial features of drivers and passengers, among other things. Wow, folks, just wow. Where do we even begin after hearing all of that? I think that anyone older than age 10 with an IQ higher than 70 probably recognizes the very real risk involved with the mass installation and clandestine use of these surveillance devices. Allow me to say, folks, that even the least conspiratorial thinking members of our land must, for the sake of themselves and future generations, take a long, serious look at this technology and the fact that it is now in use at a massive level across our once free nation. Are we the land of the free, as we were once led to believe? Well, we all need to take a serious look at that, especially after considering this urgent matter. I do not even have to get off on tangents about George Orwell and his famous piece of literature called 1984. The risk to each of us is, aunts and uncles, very real, and we all need to wake up now. Now, puppet, you are taking this a bit too seriously. Are you not? Please hear me plainly and hear me loud and clear, my viewers. Communist China has a social credit system in place with similar system of surveillance cameras in wide use anywhere and everywhere you go in their nation. And it is sending people to prison for frowning when they ask how they like the government, or for not bowing when they pass an image of Xi Jinping on the street. Look only at the United Kingdom and Britain right now, a land that is almost unrecognizable to anyone who remembers the Britain of old. People there are being jailed for posting hurtful memes on social media, all while Islamic murderers daily drive shanks into unsuspecting innocent British citizens on open public streets. We are living in crazy times, like it or not, and caution on all of our parts is a good thing. Look at what happened in 2001 with the unfortunate passage of the biggest travesty in U.S. history as far as laws go, something we now know as the Patriot Act. That law was supposedly intended to allow the U.S. federal government to better surveil and locate terrorists before they could have the opportunity to do any of us harm. But it turns out that the Fed used it on a massive scale against U.S. citizens in an all direct violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. Like sheep led to a slaughter, we all stupidly laid down and accepted the Patriot Act, much like again took place in 2020 with the China virus and the vaccinations that so many people forcefully took. Oh, and by the way, the president who pushed for and signed into law the now infamous Patriot Act was none other than George W. Bush, the son of the former director of the CIA. You could not write a better script for an espionage movie if you wanted to. I think Edward Snowden would agree with that anyway. Think about this, friends and colleagues. We hear almost monthly about data breaches from department store chains to bureaus of motor vehicles to even governmental agencies. What makes you think for a minute that the data captured about you on roadside surveillance cameras will be kept safely locked away and not even used against you? Do you trust the NSA, CIA, or FBI for that matter? You and I both know that all of those nefarious terrorist agencies has to do is send an official email to your local municipality demanding release of your flock camera captured information, and they will have it, no questions asked. That is how our secretive government operates, like it or not. Now, for those watching who are saying to themselves about now, well, puppet, I'm a law-abiding citizen with nothing to hide, so why should I really care? I say, what about the future that you are allowing for your children, grandchildren, and even great-grandchildren? Not a one of us knows what tomorrow brings, but we each need to only look at the track records of the U.S. and state governments to know that it is far too often does not bode well when our constitutionally guaranteed rights are infringed or otherwise trampled upon. The founders of our nation were very wary of government, and as such put safeguards in place to protect us. I'm going to leave all of you this week with a historical account. It seems that on the date of September 18, 1787, the day after the Constitutional Convention concluded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as delegates exited Independence Hall, a crowd gathered to learn the outcome. Elizabeth Willing Powell, wife of Philadelphia Mayor Samuel Powell, reportedly asked Benjamin Franklin, "Well, doctor, what have we got, a republic or a monarchy?" To which Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it." Think about that long and hard, my loyal viewers, and please do so diligently. Good night, my loyal viewers, and sleep well.